I feel anxious when I'm meeting people. I feel sad that people don't really know me. Because of that turning point, I get a chance to reflect more on who I really am, what I really want. And when it's come to core value, it's not about shallow connection anymore. It's all about connecting deeper. And that's why I start to also question around the beauty standard that I hold up to.
Beauty, beauty, beauty. What is the ideal face, features, or body image of a woman? Have you ever thought about how your culture plays a role in defining your ideas of beauty? Well, 42-year-old native Thai Wahn Punnapha is all too aware of her culture's influence on her ideas of beauty. In this episode, for the very first time, she bravely opens up in public about her insecurities around beauty, dating, and her struggles to conform to Thai beauty expectations. Welcome to episode 11 of the X Perspective podcast. I'm your host, Raj. Today's episode is an exciting one. Together, we will explore what beauty looks like within the Thai culture from the perspective of someone who has spent over a decade working within the Thai beauty industry. But before we meet Wahn, I want you to imagine what it feels like when every time you meet someone, you are flooded with thoughts about whether you're beautiful enough. That's Wahn's reality. Now come with me and let's meet Wahn. In the Thai culture, what are the beauty standards for women?
It's a lot of pressure growing up in Thailand. I think beauty standard in Thailand form through media. Because people consume a lot of social media, TV dramas, and there were expectations that come through around that where, when you go out and see the billboards on everywhere and on TV commercial, beauty standard is all about being thin, being fair, having fair skin.
And what about those clinics that are popping up in Thailand? How are they impacting your ideas about beauty?
Just yesterday, I received an email from an app that I used to use to go to massage and onsen. And then the things about facial coming up again. I have not been into that for quite some time. Just recently that I saw it again and I was like, okay, once I see it and when I read through it that, I need to have a firmer skin, then it brings me into my insecurities again. So my point is, the beauty clinics that is everywhere, it's subconsciously influence my behavior as well and how I view myself because they will also portray certain look of a woman. Like a woman has to have V shape. If the cheek is too big, then there is something wrong about it. You need to reduce your cheek size or something like that. That's what happened to me yesterday while I'm on the app and browsing. It's like, okay, I start to think like, okay, maybe I'm having sagging skin. Maybe my cheek is too fat. It has been very interesting in Thailand where I see beauty clinics popping up everywhere. And when I travel abroad, I didn't see this everywhere as in Thailand.
You gotta go to Korea. That's
Correct.
the mecca of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
There are beauty clinics everywhere in the Gangnam area.
Yeah.
And I know that some Thai people, they go to Korea to do surgery. Is that right?
Right now, it's even more than before. People go to Korea to do a complete makeover. And what I see in a recent trend, people around my age, which is 40 plus, 50 plus, right now it's going into the next level of revamping your beauty. I see people go to Korea to do facial lift, like serious operation. It's becoming more and more common to think that there is something wrong with us, something wrong with our skin, something wrong with our look.
Okay, so the main thing that Thai people are concerned about, according to you, is fair skin. And when you said V shape, you meant the V-shaped face?
Yeah, we shape
the
face.
Yeah, the chin.
The chin, small face. I see some women, they have bigger body, but they are making sure that their face is small. And I also try to do that at one point in my life as well, because I feel like my body is not that small. So if I were to be in a photo and I want to look good, I have to have looking like thin and slim.
How do you make your face small? Like what? How do you do that?
You can use Botox to make it small. I think there is certain injection that can make the fat go away, the fat in the cheek go away. And I know some people do operation. And I remember when I still going to the clinics for taking care of my beauty, there will be a certain ways that the doctor will say, oh, my eyebrow is not equal. Or when I go into the clinic, they will put up the mirror and they will talk through what is imperfect in my face. So there were a certain block on how should I look in a society so I will be deemed as beautiful.
What role did your family play in creating the ideas of beauty?
The first thing that I remember growing up is I'm the firstborn child, and my mom always tell me when I grow up that, oh, when you were born, you were the cutest kid in the street and people love you because you are cute. So it was imprinted in my belief that people love me because I am cute. So it's become conditioning that I have to look cute to get love. My mother family is a big family. So my grandmother has 10 child. My mother, at first, I thought she was the last daughter, the youngest daughter of her whole siblings. But I just found out 2 years ago when I have a conversation with her around her family. I asked her, I couldn't remember again how many siblings you have. And she started to mention, actually, I have another one. Grandmother was choosing which one that she will keep and which one that she will have to give away because it was a lot of work for her. And when she looked at my mother looked cute, like looked more cute than the other person. So she decided to keep my mother and give the other person away, which is my aunt. And yeah, since then, my mother has been obsessed about her beauty, her look, how she eat. And that has been passed on to me too. Since I was young, I just remember that my mother take me to a studio. I was like a child model because for her, beauty is really important. It's the way that she survived. It's the way that she was able to be with her mother. And since then, it has been the big conversation in the family, and she still keep repeating around her beauty. She'll be the one in the family that will take an hour to put on makeup and choosing dress, and I can see that is coming rooted deeply from family, society, how she experienced her relationship with her mother as well.
Yeah, her upbringing influenced her ideas on beauty, and then that transferred over to you.
Yeah.
So talking about that, as a Thai woman growing up in Thailand, you felt you had to live up to the culture's beauty standards. What beauty standards were you trying to meet personally, and why?
I remember my earlier reason for being beautiful or keeping up to the beauty standard is I want to be attractive to men, right? When I was growing up, being teenagers, I was looking for love, and the love that I thought I'm gonna get is from men. And it's related back to, if I want to attract men, then I have to be beautiful.
And what did you consider beautiful at that time?
The weight come into my mind now, the first thing. That I have to be thin, slim. I remember when I grew up as a teenager and I feel like I'm too big, then I will start not eating food or restricting food, the weight, first thing. Second thing is for sure the appearance on what is the clothes. Even though in Thailand we wear uniform, there is not a lot of choice, but there will be certain fashion when I was teenager on the back, or like some pencil from Japanese character that I have to have, so that I feel like it was the accessory that make me feel better, that people will be interested in me. But everything is all external. It's not about who I am. So my focus most of my life is all about taking care of the exterior world of myself, or how people will perceive me, but it's less about understanding and honoring who I am.
Would you say you were chasing external validation
Yeah.
through beauty?
Yes.
Okay. How did you feel while trying to live up to such beauty standards? Was it exhausting? Was it difficult? Like, how was it for you?
Yeah, I think it was a real struggle. Now I still feel it. I think it's become part of my inner self-talk, but I just getting better in not letting it taking control over me. But I think all my life I feel anxious when I'm meeting people. I feel sad that people don't really know me.
Why do you feel anxious when you meet people?
Because I will have this thought, oh, my hair isn't perfect, or is it like my hands, my boob, like everything about me can go wrong. And I feel anxious that if that happened, maybe I wouldn't get the connection that I want to.
You're worried about how they're going to judge your appearance?
Yeah.
Can you go a little bit deeper and explain like how it feels? Does it happen all the time, or once in a while where you feel this sense of judgment?
I think it's happened most of the time, because now I remember that if I go out to family reunion, they will talk about, oh, you are getting fat, oh, are you getting thin today? So it's all about my appearance. It's or like what is your work, or how successful you are. So it's all about anything that is superficial. And the same thing happened to my Thai friend. There will be someone that will be concerning about look or complimenting around how I dress, more than getting to know me as a person or understanding my world. That's why when I go out to meet people, the first thing that comes to my mind is that, am I wearing makeup perfectly today? Or how am I fit into my dress today? How do I look? Are there any vegetable on my teeth? Those kind of thoughts will come up first when I meet people.
Okay, and we'll talk about how you deal with this later on in the show. But I want to get into how for a decade you worked in the corporate world selling beauty products.
Yeah.
And that kind of environment, how did that impact your ideas and thoughts about beauty?
Yeah, that's impact me a lot, because I'm also really passionate about my work. I believe in everything that I do since I was working for a company. So when I was be in the beauty products for more than 10 years, like the way that people sell product is try to get people to buy more. And behind the scene, we work a lot on how to convince people to buy more. So that also means we want to find a way to tell people that they need something more than what they have now, right? And because I was so passionate around it, I wasn't like really reflecting on that process. So I actually, at that time, I was encouraging everybody to buy a lot of stuff. This is gonna make you look better, and I really believed that at that time. But looking back, I think there were still some part of it that it's not bad at all. Like, I still taking care of myself. I still putting on cream and makeup and all of that. But it was just coming from a different place where I do it because I feel like I want to take care of myself. But a lot of time that I see where people promote the product or do marketing, it will be more on something is wrong with you, or maybe perhaps you are not perfect enough, and that's why you need this. Or sometimes they relate to relationship, and this one I'm talking generally from the overall business that I see from the external perspective now, that sometimes people will, let's say, use a male model for beauty products so that the woman feel like they have to be beautiful to draw the male,
To attract the male.
to attract the male. Yeah.
It really impacted you.
Yes.
Did you start feeling like you were not beautiful during that period of your life?
I think subconsciously I might feel that. Most of the time I would feel like I have to buy one more thing. I have to get one more thing. I have to get that bag. I have to get that shoes. I have to buy more clothes.
So a couple years ago, I believe 8 years ago, you got divorced.
Yes.
And I understand you began questioning your views about beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to the audience how the divorce did that for you? Like, why were you reevaluating your ideas of beauty around that time?
First, when I got into a relationship, I also got into a relationship thinking that the reason that person choose me is because of my beauty. Like, there is a part of it that, yeah, we have something in common. But then when I got divorced later on, that shift in my life lead me into life coaching and start to, like when I start to get a coach in the beginning of my journey, that I look for a coach to help me in the divorce process that was really challenging for me at that time. And from having the coach to help me reflect deeply on my personal value, on what is important to me, over time, I start to question everything about how I grew up. And part of it is the beauty standard. But right now I do question a lot of things, as we know that we were programmed, like our subconscious mind were programmed even before we were born, right? And a lot of time we were living subconsciously based on the family values and everything. But because of that turning point, I get a chance to reflect more on who I really am, what I really want. And when it's come to core value, it's not about shallow connection anymore. It's all about connecting deeper. And that's why I start to also question around the beauty standard that I hold up to since I was much younger. And I get more curious around my family history that lead me to ask my mother about her history with her mom. And that's how I discover the whole chain of why I receive so much on the belief that I have to be a certain look or a certain way.
And I also understand about 2 years ago, when you quit the corporate world, you had to make peace with your body image.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. That is another turning point where when I quit the corporate world, embarking on my entrepreneurial journey, and I decide in myself that I'm going to make this journey of being solopreneur work. And part of it is I decide to show up on social media, and that's mean people will have to see me. And yeah, so I have to make peace with a lot of part that, someday I would look at myself and I will feel like, oh, I'm getting chubby again. Perhaps last night I have too much Thai food, high sodium, that make me chubby, right? And then someday I will feel like, oh, today I look great because I didn't have that Thai food, but I do juice fast or something. So there will be this kind of thought rippling in during the process. And it has been a lot of work to really sit with myself and detach myself from getting obsessed with my body and thinking about the work that I really want to do. And I have to choose whether will I choose to spend my energy on my work, or will I continue to choose to spend my energy obsessing about the little thing about myself.
Do you deal with this every single day? Like it comes up and you have to make this decision. Should I be thinking about beauty stuff or should I be putting my energy towards things that really matter to me? Is it a daily challenge?
It is for sure. I have a funny story that happened recently around my dating life. That because I've been dating, now I'm still dating. And what's interesting is when right now I always tell people when I get the chance that if you go out on a date, don't date because you want to be with somebody, but date because either you want to know another person or date because you want to know yourself, your own insecurities. And through that process, I realized sometimes, when I go out with a person that I feel like we have a connection, and let's say he didn't contact me back, one of the thoughts that pop up in my mind is like, am I fat? Is that the reason that he doesn't contact me back? Like, am I too fat?
It just shows you the power of your thoughts that, you're imprinted with.
Yeah.
From a young age. They're very difficult to let go of.
Yes.
And that leads me to my next question. Today, in your early 40s, have you truly come to accept your body image?
If I were to be honest, there will be part of me that know all the concept that I have to love me for who I am. I have to love my body for what it is. But there will be days that I don't think that I reached that point yet. I think it's going to be a lifetime work. The part that I come to accept is that I accept the fact that this is part of my belief system. If it show up, it show up. I learned to get better in investigating the thoughts. In the example of me going out dating, right? When that thoughts come up that, oh, am I too fat? Then I start to see my behavior. I start to book more sessions in the gyms because I want to, getting thinner, getting fitter so I can attract men. But I caught myself in the middle that, no, this is not the point. This is not the way. I think it's easier to come to realize the fact that sometimes if it's part of nervous system or belief system, it's gonna be there. But what I get good at it is I'm getting good at catching myself in the middle of it. I am getting good at being aware of it. I'm getting better at taking different action in every moment that I caught myself in the same thought pattern again. So to answer your question, if I were to be honest, I don't think that I feel it 100% that I can come to accept myself, but I'm learning to get better at it.
One, you touched on a very important point. Awareness.
Yeah.
I truly believe that is the beginning of something. Like if you're not aware of your own behaviors and what you're doing and why you're doing it, how can you fix it? So that's such a great start.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect you to say that you are 100% accepting your body image. It's a process.
Yeah.
But when you are self-critical about yourself, can you tell the listeners, how do you deal with it?
As a coach, I try different ways. Actually, the reason that I'm journeying into the life coach is first, I want to solve my own problem, right? And I feel like, oh, okay, being a life coach, solving my own problem, there were so many things that we can actually transform ourselves, learn about ourselves, having the self-discovery that lead to a better life. And earlier on, when I was start to do life coaching, I thought I have to remove all this self-talk out. But now I come to the point where I look at it differently now. I look at it as the process to deal with that is to accept the voice first that is there.
Which voice are you talking about?
The inner talk.
Yeah.
The inner talk, self-talk, being self-critical. If I start to self-critical again, it's not about trying to change it. This is where I feel like the most effective way in dealing with the voice that is being self-critical. It's about hearing it. And I do it through meditation. I do it through time with myself. So I do have time every day that I do self-reflection some way, somewhere. If it's not my meditation, I will have time that I sit with myself and reflecting on my action and what's going on in that process. Why am I acting that way? And I find this is so far it has been the most effective way is to actually listening to that voice, because that voice has good intention. Actually, it's being self-critical because it want me to get better, but it just didn't know how to help me. So I learned to have compassion for that voice. Because earlier on in the coaching journey, people will talk a lot about, oh, let's get rid of that voice. Let's find some tools and techniques so that the voice will not coming back. But I think I reached a point where I really know that the voice will come back because it's part of how we think. But how can we have compassion for that voice, for just that little part that is okay to be there? But we don't have to act from that space.
One, I want to talk more about the kind of expectations you hold of yourself today. What's your standard of being beautiful physically today?
Age gracefully.
Okay, you grew up with this idea that it's beautiful if you're thin, fair-skinned. Has it changed?
It changed for sure. Right now, I don't wear sunscreen. I don't really care if my skin is fair. Like I used to live in Koh Phangan Island before, and I actually at one point I love being tan. I think it's cool. So that changed a lot.
It's funny, like when I was growing up, I remember I was in my early 20s. I used to work at a theme park and I was exposed to a lot of sun. I remember thinking, yeah, I'm getting tanned. I get tanned even though my skin is brown. And I remember going to my relative's house and my aunt was like, you're so dark. Your skin is so dark. And I'm like, so? It's cool. I look different.
Yeah, I love that. I love that point of view on being different. And right now, my beauty standard is if I want to look beautiful, it's all about because I take care of myself. Or if I want to look beautiful on social media, it's because when I look at others people's social media, I also love to look at the account that has, beautiful and aesthetic, right? If I show up now, it's all about honoring the different side of beauty. It show up from different intention. I didn't show up from insecurity that I'm not good enough, but I show up because, oh, this is gonna look good. This is gonna either make myself happier if I'm taking care of myself, putting on some makeup, and it's gonna help people to enjoy the content that I create. So that would be how I view beauty right now. Is just completely different than before. And because it wasn't coming from the insecurity, I still take care of myself, but not to fit into perfect weight or having perfect chic. It's all about taking care of myself so that it's a service to people.
Do you feel beautiful these days?
Not every day.
Like generally, would you say that you are satisfied with the way you look right now? Do you feel beautiful?
Yes and no. People come to me, multiple days in a row to say that I'm beautiful, but deep down there will be still part of me that don't believe it. So I think it's going to be the process of integrating that.
Do you think it's important for women to set their own standards for beauty?
It is definitely important. What I also come to realize is that we have to really ask ourselves again, why do we want to be beautiful?
That's a good question.
And if anyone have the same answer as me, is that I want to be beautiful because I want connection with other people. It doesn't have to be men, but even with friends, with other people. Then people connect with people, not from the beauty. Of course, the basic hygiene has to be there, right? So we can have conversation without disruption. But it's beyond that. And the part that make you unique that is not following the social norm is the part that you are going to draw people that honoring your uniqueness, whether it's an unequal eyebrow that I have or like some spot. So if you ask me, I think first get into the reason of why you want to be beautiful, because intention set the course of your life in every area. And second, your uniqueness by not following the social norm is going to draw people that give you the relationship that you are looking for.
That's a very interesting perspective. Try to really think about why you want to be beautiful and then how that would help you with your growth in your life.
Yes. I was just having this interesting reflection with a friend, because like when I was dating, I shared with my friend my experience with, meeting with several people during the dating process. And there were a lot of disappointment along the way. So I talked to my friend and she mentioned one thing. You know that you are weird, right?
Everybody is weird for something, right?
You know that you are weird. But I'm not. This is like from one of my friends that I love so much. Like she said, you know that you are weird, right? Because you are not following social norm. And I'm saying this in a positive way because I've been knowing you for a long time and I see how you grow. And you are someone who stand your ground around, not wearing sunscreen, not wearing a lot of makeup. A lot of people wear makeup, but you don't, which I think is good, because then when you meet the right person, it's going to be the right person. It's important to have faith in the process of getting out of social conditioning. It will feel weird, but it's a good thing to feel weird.
Yeah, you have to have that confidence in what you're trying to do, and you're going to get a lot of resistance, especially when people have certain expectations of how you should be. So you got to have that faith.
Yeah.
You mentioned that following these beauty standards made you exhausted.
Yeah.
Would you say that today, now that you're slowly changing, do you feel more energy? Do you feel better? Do you feel more like peace in your mind?
A lot more better. A lot more time, by the way. People surprised how I spend time. The process of taking shower until finishing dressing up and ready to go out, I use very little time. And I have a lot more time to take care of myself in different way. Either I spend that energy into my business or spend that energy to go exercise. Like today, I'm already ready to go for exercise, right? I think I have a lot more time when I don't chase that beauty standard.
What message do you want to send to women who are struggling to meet beauty expectations that are set by their culture? What would you tell a woman today, or a listener who's right now listening to this conversation and they truly are struggling with meeting up with the beauty standards, which are so high, that are set in their culture?
First, I want to tell them that I know how you feel. It's hard. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's hard. It's a lot of money, time, energy to invest in following a certain look in the world. But ask yourself, how do you feel about keep chasing those standards? Like for me, I feel tired to keep on chasing the things that it's more illusion, right? That standard that I have, it's like the image that I have in my mind. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Start asking yourself, is this the way that you want to live life like this? On allowing either society or people to place value on yourself.
Are you someone who is chasing cultural beauty standards that leave you exhausted or perhaps happy? Why are you trying to be beautiful? What's your intention? Is it only for external validation? If so, then ask yourself, why is that approval so important to you? Or does meeting cultural beauty ideals truly make you content because it does come from a place of security? Wahn brings up a great point. The mindset from which you act makes all the difference. My listeners, thank you for your time and attention. But before you go, I have one last question. Have you visited our website yet? You'll find us at theexperspectivepodcast.com. It was built specifically for us by an awesome company called Stegadon Software. They help small businesses level up with sleek modern websites and custom apps without any tech headaches. They got our website up and running in no time and were very attentive to all our needs and concerns. If you're curious about what they can do for you, mention the X Perspective podcast and you'll get a free consultation. Check them out at stegadonsoftware.com. That's STEGODON software.com. Stegadon Software. Smart software, fewer obstacles. My listeners, we have many interesting stories lined up for this season, focusing on the theme of expectations. You can follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts to be notified of new episodes. To easily find us online, visit our website at theexperspectivepodcast.com. There you will find links to our podcast and social media platforms. Or just use the handle TXP_podcast to find us on social media. But I encourage you to just take a minute and visit our website. Thanks again for listening and see you in episode 12.